John's come round, he's hit me from behind, he's mowed me down in theory. I've rolled up the car bonnet and I've hit the floor and I've rolled across the front of the floor. He's hit me with some great speed, and when I'm rolling I can see under front of Vector, I can see it sump and feel all hot air coming out from under front of the car. Are we rolling? Sound going.
Yeah,
and
rolling sound.
Ben Pearson take, what, 2, 3, 3, 4? 10. Yes, I like that. Right, so a quick thing on injuries on duties. So I'm 44 years old now, and when I get up I feel I'm 110. I get up in the morning, throw my legs over the edge of bed. As soon as I stand up, my knees click, and they're really, really bad. They struggle to move, first of all. I've got one slipped disc and one bulge disc in the bottom of my back, which keeps popping out and I keep having it put back. I've had brain damage from a collision where the cars hit me on the side and I damaged my brain. I had to learn to write again, and I had to have speech therapy for a year because the bruising that it did on the right side of my brain affects the left-hand side of and I'm left-handed. So I still write like a 4-year-old child now. It is legible, but it's not really good. I've obviously got PTSD, depression, anxiety, which we all know about. Not that I'm banging that drum like, but I'm just telling you. My body is covered in scars from top to bottom, through my ankles, knees, elbows, all down my hands. The reason being I'm saying this is because we're all human. But when we're having a pursuit with a car stolen in Baildon, and this pursuit goes down Canal Road, weaving backwards and forwards, I'm in this shit traffic car where I can't keep up. John comes behind me, mid-shooter in VXR, all over it. We get to Bomber Barkham Road and shitbag goes round the corner, so we'll pin him in, box in front and rear. I get out and give it legs, and just as I'm running past front of my car, I'm in that proper kind of, slow-mo run, like you see Tom Cruise doing, going across the road. And as I'm running, I'm thinking, my legs are getting right light here. They're just going, I'm picking up speed as well. And then I realise I'm sat on car bonnet at Vector, and John's come round, he's hit me from behind, he's mowed me down in theory. I've rolled up the car bonnet and I've hit the floor and I've rolled across the front of the floor. He's hit me with some great speed, and when I'm rolling I can see under front of Vector, I can see it sump and feel all hot air coming out from under front of the car, and I can hear tyres skidding across the tarmac. And I stand back up like an hero, how you do. And I start running, but as you run you can left arm, right arm, left arm, right arm, and all I can see is left arm, left arm, left arm. And my other arm's pinned to my chest, and basically I've brought my bone across my elbow when he's mowed me down. I've got rips on my pants, all my knees are covered in blood and scabs. So I was sat in an ambulance. For some reason tried to cut my stab vest off me, even though it's a stab vest, and it's not penetrable by scissors. And I had 6 weeks off. I'd bruised my back, my kidneys, knackered my knees, broke my elbow, scarred my hands. That's just one job in 19 years. One of them was a reverse ramming after a pursuit with a car, me and baby Ben giving it big licks round Thackley. Left, right, left, right, left, right. It's like, he couldn't shake us, we're all over him like a cheap suit. You know what I mean? It was shit, he just couldn't drive for toffee. He's anchored on right and he's gone around this corner and I couldn't see him, so as I've turned around, he was just sat in the middle of the road, and we know what's going to go on, and we're in 330 and he skids to a stop, so I skid to a stop, and then reverse lights come on, and Ben's going, get it in gear, put it in reverse. I'm trying to put it in reverse, and it won't select. And all of a sudden, we can see this Audi coming towards us, and he hit front of our 330, bonnet came up in air, not wings peeled back. My foot's pushing on the brake as hard as it can. With the force of the car getting shunted back, my thigh has gone up, so it's displaced my hip bone. So obviously, you've got 2 hip bones outside of your spinal bit. It sent me so far down into my seat that the seatbelt's tightened, and I've either got a stent from my bladder into my kidney, it's ruptured my stent, it bruised me internally, and then give me a slip disc in my back. So I spent 3 days in hospital with that. Again, it's just, you don't go to work expecting to get hurt. You just give your kids, no, see you later. Give them see you in 2 hours when I get back or whatever it is. And then you phone up, and me and Alice have got that reputation between each other and rapport that unless I'm dying or it's a potential fatal or a fail, we don't ever go to hospital. There's no point, we've got kids at home. So then I've got to ring my brother or my best friend or whatever. So then, those days, baby Ben used to pull up outside house in my car, knock on the door at 7 in the morning, and be like, right, where is he? What ward's he on? And he was like, is it BRI on ward 7? This is what's wrong with him. But you've got to just get over it. You've just got to try. One incident, we had a pursuit with a stolen car still in Baildon, and it went on Crag Road in Shipping. I pitted it, and I sent it round. It went up this hill, and it come back down. I got my glass hammer with this hand, smashed the window, and I leant in, and I got my hand round his neck, fucking strangling this lad, and I, ragging him round it. Stop the fucking car, get out! It's a stolen car. And with me waiting in at 17 stone, trying to fucking rag him out of the car and hit him, he got my hand, and then he pulled it back, and when we were wrestling, he's then run my hand round the shards of glass. It just ripped all my skin off my knuckle. I ended up getting pulled out of the car, and he got suitably restrained. But then when I started seeing it, well, like pouring a pint of water on the floor, the blood was pouring straight out of my hand. And it had holes outside of my fingers. Massive crater holes all down the side of my hand and across the top of my hand, where it just because it was all shards with it was just so easy for him to do. Do you know what I mean? But then you've got to have all your hand bandaged up, and then it got infected and it turned green, so I had to have them pinned, and it was disgusting. It smelled like cauliflower. It was like a cheesy smell. It just wasn't nice at all. What else have I had done to me? Like I said, going through the traffic lights at Queen's Road, my fault. I accept liability for going through the traffic. Red light, going to a pursuit, got T-boned, smashed all my head on the pillar at the car, completely knocked out, didn't know where I was. Ended up car spun round, went through a gate into a lamppost. I was quite badly hurt at the time, but when I woke up in hospital, I had a stutter. So when I get panicky now, or I get lethargic and tired, my mouth sort of drops on my right hand side a little bit, and then I slaver. So when I get put under too much pressure, that's how it comes out. So I had to learn to write. That were a massive issue for me. That I had no confidence in myself. I couldn't get behind the wheel of a car for a long time, so I lost all that confidence in driving fast. Speech therapy were an hard thing to do. Took a lot out of me, did that, and then writing therapy. But they did a specialist IQ test on me at the time. At LGI, St Luke's did a specialist IQ test on me at the time, and it turned out I've got a really IQ, really, as in like I think I'm one at 96th percentile, they call it. So it says basically for reading, writing, and arithmetic, you're thick as pig shit. But for everything else, like a photographic memory or putting shapes into boxes or doing something. Memory recall, this is you top there, so this is basically your Bradford's answer to Rain Man. So I excel in one level, but I'm shit in other. So it always got to the point of when we were at work and there were statements to be taken, someone else always took it, or they had my back like that, and I'm so grateful for them for doing it. But yeah, it's like every day now you get up, I'm suffering football players have been playing football for 6 years and I've got to retire, I've got bad knees, and well, yeah, I understand that, but people have 2 car crashes in life and it might affect them for us. Like we were having car crashes per week, if not 3-4 times a week. We were writing traffic cars off left, right and centre. We were being reversed round at 30-40 miles an hour. We were having injuries. When you're pursuing a car at 90 and you're boxing it from both sides and he's hitting your car, you're creating physical injuries that you can't see, and these injuries and also you don't recuperate properly. You don't have months and months off. You don't have proper physio. You just go at work the next day, and then when you run after the burglar, that's just you don't walk. Stay there, lads, and warm yourself up and stretch. You're running from cold, so these injuries are taking a toll on your body. So when I get out of bed now, apart from my mental illness, my brain damage and my physical illness, I'm just ruined as a person. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody in West Yorkshire Police for the injuries.
And the criminals.
And I'd like to thank the criminals as well, especially the lad that, I know his name, I'm not going to say his name, that's put scars all over me. John, thank you for the broken elbow. The lad in the Audi, thank you for the spinal injuries, and yeah. But
rock and roll lifestyle.
It's rock and roll, yeah. The only thing is I don't have a tattoo in a a funny, awkward place, like you should do an announcer on a TV out window. But apparently it's it's same as anybody else that's lived that sort of lifestyle. I wouldn't change the world though. And if I hadn't done what I've done, I wouldn't be here now. So it's not all bad.